All right, guys, there's a lot of things I want to talk about. I'm sorry. It has been a while since I actually put a video out, and I'm late on this update video that I'm putting out right now, the June updates. But there's a lot of reasons why. I want to get into it right now. A lot of you guys have been asking me what's going on. I haven't, are you okay? Because I haven't seen any video of you recently. This is probably the longest I've been in a while on putting out new content, new video. Let me try to explain. I don't want to talk about a lot of that stuff right now. Let me kind of go through all this and tell you what I'm working on. I was called up. My son works a ranch in Rock Springs, and he does a lot of guiding. He does a lot of ranch work with cattle and goats and sheep and stuff like that. It's a 20,000 acre ranch, the Baker 3 Ranch up in Rock Springs, and he's a guide out there. And they were short a guide. I've been hunting for 52 years, so I kind of know a little bit about hunting. And they asked me to come up there and guide a couple of hunters, and I said, well, fine, that's cool. So I went up there for 5 days, got away from San Antonio, stayed up there for 5 days in a cabin, and it was freaking awesome, guys, to get out there and relax. Still had the work, up all the time, axis hunting. They were coming down here to shoot, so that was pretty neat. For the first time, I've been hunting, with my son and my family for a long time, and kind of taking them out. It was just a different experience taking someone else out. But I just got back from that the other day, and Bubba's been sick. I don't know if you guys know, he's not very, he doesn't like putting that stuff out there, but he's got COVID and he's in a hospital. He just went in last night. He's been fighting it for about 10 days, and then his oxygen saturation got down below 90, and he went in. His wife took him in. Basically the same symptoms that I have, shortness of breath. He's got pneumonia in the lungs. They're fighting it right now the same way. He's just on an air. He's on oxygen. They got him on IV. They got him on a drip, getting hydration. And then they got all the stuff they're shooting in him, basically. But I talked to him this morning. He's in good spirits, and he's fighting it. But he will be back later on. Probably going to drop a few pounds when he's in there. And then he's going to have to get back going again. So we'll be hitting in the morning. It'll be me, Billy, and Trey. I'll be hitting in the morning, and then we'll be hitting again Wednesday morning to get you guys caught up on what we're working on. I will talk about that in a minute. What I want to talk about a little bit right now is if you guys have an infection, got a lung problem, and you think you have COVID, go down and I'll have a picture of it right here. It's the finger monitor. You can get them at Walgreens or CVS. And I told Bubba about this, and when I got COVID, I got on it too. And when your saturations, when your oxygen gets down to below 90 is what a doctor says. If it gets below 90, go in, because that's usually when you're not getting all the oxygen into your blood, and there's things they can do to help that. And Bubba's got below 90, so he went in there to get that taken care of. He's got a little bit of a cough. He cannot hardly finish sentences. And they're gonna fight that, but he's not bad where he's on a respirator, guys. It's one thing. He's just got the oxygen on his nose, but they're gonna take care of him when he's in there. There are a few things that I want to talk about since I'm on that subject too. There are 3 things, and you guys know I can't do those COVID videos, but I want to get you out for those guys that are worried about COVID and you don't have it. There are some things I want you to get on, and y'all guys can do the research on it later. It's vitamin D3 and K2. Make sure you take vitamin D3 and K2 together. I get mine from Dr. Berg. Look it up, is where I get mine from. I kind of like his. There's a zinc sulfate too. There's different kinds of zinc, but I got mine off Amazon. I couldn't find it anywhere in San Antonio. It's zinc sulfate. And there's another one. I also have pictures of this stuff too. There's another one right here. It's NAC is what it's called. Look on the Amazon and pick that up and get some of that stuff. Really quick update on mine. I was having side effects from the COVID for a long time. And where I was concerned, I went to go see a lung doctor to find out if my lungs were okay. My lungs passed. I was okay with my lungs. And which was kind of surprising, because I had said in a previous video or talked to somebody about that I thought I had an underlying condition, which was my lungs, because secondhand smoke. Well, that's not true. I did not have an underlying condition with my lungs. I just assumed that I did because my parents smoked and I was breathing in all that stuff. And then going to clubs. I got married at 35. I was single till I was 35. I would date every once in a while, but I was single till I was 35, and I got married. But I did a lot of dancing at clubs, country clubs. So I'd go out country dancing a lot. So you breathe in. Back then, you could smoke inside those clubs. So I would breathe in the smoke. So I thought it was that, but it's not. My lungs are okay. And then after the lungs, I went to go see a heart doctor. Did the stress test and the echo, because a lot of times with COVID patients that are really severe, I'm not talking about because you get the COVID virus that you're going to get this, but a lot of people are telling me that on the severe COVID patients, the ones that are on a respirator, that could damage your heart, your left part of your heart. So I went and got that checked, and that checked out great too. So, but what happened was I was still getting winded. I would walk up a flight of stairs, you know, probably around 15 stairs, and I'd gasping for air at the top. So when I talked to my doctor, my heart doctor was like, we don't know how long it takes to come back. I just within the last 2 to 3 weeks, I started getting my wind back, where I was gasping a little bit, but not like I was before. So guys, we're going on a year now. The year anniversary for me having COVID, and I'm just now feeling a little bit better, you know. I haven't, and it took a year to get over this shit. It's funny, but I'm getting my wind back. You know, I'm not, you know, it's taken me less and less time to recuperate from doing, like running on the treadmill, like I did when I did my stress test. I was gassed after that and gasping for air, but my recovery time from that was better. Like I got better a lot faster. But guys, those supplements I just told you, go out and get those. Those are very good for your immune system, very good for antiviral stuff. Before it gets too dark here, I want to run through a lot of this stuff, guys. Videos that I have coming out, I want to talk about. I want to make sure that I got through all of this. I need to talk about that in a minute. But there are a few things. We're going to do a video on how to break in bats. And I think I put this out in another video, or maybe I didn't put it out. But we are going to go through a whole, the way we do it. And I think the way we do it, because we're getting a lot of longevity out of our personal bats. Whenever we're swinging them, a lot of our personal stuff, we don't swing like we do the reviews, because a lot of you guys don't break in bats like we do. And it's 10 swing increments is the way we break our stuff in. But I want to get in a separate video about that before I get in too long. In this video, I'm going to go on 8 minutes right now. But the way we break our bats in, I want to do a whole separate video on that. And over years of doing this, I've kind of put 2 and 2 together, and I noticed that all of our bats are lasting a long time. A lot of other people's bats aren't. So I think there's a connection there on how we do it compared to how a lot of guys out there do it. So I want to do a video on that. You can do it the way we do it if you want to. If not, then that's fine. But it's just something else you can go to if you're constantly breaking bats or cracking bats whenever. I want to get a compression tester. If you guys know where I can get a compression tester, let me know. But that's the next thing I'm going to get. And the reason I'm going to get it is different than what you think I'm going to get it. I don't think compression testing, I want to get it to find out for you guys what a bat starts out at and what a bat gets to, and how long does it stay there. And I think that's something that a lot of you guys want. I'm not a big believer in compression testing and what it does on your different swings. I do agree with that. Like if you guys got a faster swing, you want a higher compression. If you guys got a slower swing, you might want a lower compression. One guy's in a 160, 170, 150 even with a slower swing. That bat's going to benefit you a whole lot more. So I think I need to add that onto my website so you guys can know where the compression testing is at on each bat that you swing, or what group of bats, you know, like the Micans, what is their lowest compression testing, the Dudleys that are coming out, the Suncoast, you know, how many swings you get on them, and you know, and what compression does it test at. I want to talk to you guys how to get, this is the biggest question that I get, one of the top 5 that I've gotten with since I've been doing this, how to get picked up by teams. I'm going to show you guys, talk to you guys I can do it right here. It's going to be real fast. How to get picked up by teams around the United States, or how to get your name out there. Senior soft, there is SSUSA. Go to their website. This is where how I did it when I first started, so I know this. There are websites, the senior softball out there. SSUSA, probably the biggest one. They have players looking for teams and teams looking for players. Kind of join that group, put your name in there, contact number, tell them where you play. Don't get too deep into how good you are, because nobody really looks at that shit, because everybody else boosts that. Everybody that's out there advertising always boosts that shit up like I'm a 1,000 hitter or whatever. Don't get too much into that. Just tell them where you play, what level you've played at, and that you want to start playing again. And usually you'll get a call back pretty fast on that. 1.21 BPF. Guys, I don't know if you know this or not. I'm pretty sure that they went away from that. They're not doing 1.21 BPF on bats anymore. They're doing that different testing on the new stamps that they go around on bats. There is somebody out there that posted about surgeons, the top surgeons for athletes. I'm going to give you guys a list on the top surgeons of athletes, and a lot of them are in San Antonio. It's sports medicine, and actually my surgeons, Dr. Mark Allen, Dr. Paul Sines, and Dr. Schmidt. Those are the top three that I can think of. There's a few more that are there, and these guys are so good. If you guys remember, if you guys even seen, if you guys are in basketball and you watched Tim Duncan's introduction into the Hall of Fame, when he talked, he thanked these guys for actually keeping him in basketball his whole career. The same guys that I go to, and you can go to too. I've got a video coming out on Dr. Paul Sines, the same guy he mentioned, where I'm getting knee injections from him on my knee. Guys talked to you about my knee on the torn meniscus. And then I have my kneecap I'm losing cartilage in the knee. And he shot me up with the rooster cone. There's a name for it though, but he shot me up with that rooster cone. I've got my 3rd injection already. It's feeling a lot better. And I'm going to hit in the morning. I still get a little bit of pain in it, and it's weak. Other than that, my knees feels really good. If that doesn't work, he's already talking about going into it's not the PRP, it's the something else, a stem cell. He's talking about doing that, but insurance doesn't cover that. That'll come out of your pocket. But I'll give you guys a list of all those surgeons that you can go to if you're looking for a good surgeon, and highly recommend these guys too. I'm going to try to get this out before it gets too dark. Guys, when we talk about, and I'm going to kind of go through this pretty fast, but if we talk about, I'm going to leave this one out because I can talk about that later. When we talk about, it's not absolutes with us. In other words, it's just our opinion. And when somebody's out there doing a review, they're talking about, and I'm talking for a lot of the other guys out there doing reviews too, is we're talking about percentages, the percentages of people, the percentages of 50-year-olds, the percentages of 40-year-olds. It's a lot of 40-year-olds aren't gonna be disappointed with senior bats, especially coming from UTRIP or ASA, and they're going into seniors and they're 40 years old. They're going to pick one up. They're going to pick a piece of shit up, senior bat, a low tier senior bat, and they're going to hit it and go, oh my God, and then they start putting out, on the message board or wherever you're at, on the contact section down below, on when they're talking about stuff, and they're being little smart asses about these guys doing reviews on a bat and giving their opinion, and they're sitting there going, well, it's a senior bat, yeah, every one of them are good. Well, that's not necessarily true, and you're not going to know that now, but when you get to be about 60, 70, 65, you're going to understand what a lot of these guys are putting out is true, because when you're swinging at 105, 110 miles an hour, I don't think there's a bat that you can pick up that's not going to perform for you. But when you start getting into 80 mile an hour, 75 mile an hour, 70, 60, then it's actually the job that we do actually helps you or benefits you a lot better than what they're talking about. So don't listen to those guys. Their bat speed's up there, so they're going to tell you, you know, they're going to grab a bat that's a piece of shit and start swinging it, you know, and they're going to claim that they're a senior guy and they're 40 years old and they're hitting bombs with it and you can do the same. Not necessarily true. That's how come whenever I do reviews and we do reviews, we talk about the 40-year-old guys are going to like this, the 60-year-old guys aren't going to like it too good because of their bat speed. So different bats perform better. You know, you got a stiffer barrel that performs better for a 40-year-old, but not necessarily for a 60-year-old with the less bat speed. You got a softer barrel that a lot of the older guys are going to like, but you younger guys are going to implode it, and it's not going to get that trampoline effect, and it's going to be bat collapsing on you because your bat speed's at 110 miles an hour, 105 miles an hour. So what we do a lot of is, you know, we deal with 75% of all the seniors out there. There's no absolutes. I get a lot of feedback from guys that they'll pick up a bat or do a video and go, well, it works for me. Well, you're not part of that fucking 75 or 80%. I'm not talking about you. You know, you're a freak or whatever. So don't, I don't know if it's an ego thing. they try to contradict what I'm trying to fucking say, but there's videos that I got coming out that are going to better explain to why or how we do, you know, the balance points, you know, how we talk about bats. I think the way bats are made nowadays are shit. I really do. I think they can be a lot better by balance points. There's things that I'm working on right now, and that's how come I took a big layoff and I was out in the country, because I was thinking about a bunch of things. And I'm going to take this to a different level coming up this year, into this year and into next year, where I'm thinking about developing an app on end weights and handle weights, and try to better choose bats for bat swings and miles per hour. Usually, you know, a lot of guys got, it all depends on your bat swing, or it all depends on comfortable. I don't believe that it all depends on what's comfortable in your hands. The reason I say that is because I picked up the Juno and I thought that bat felt great, greater than any bat that I've ever swung. And I started swinging it and I'm like, shit, the barrel is too stiff on it. If they just would have not made that barrel that stiff and put a different carbon in it, this would be a freaking badass bat, because it swung great. That's how come when people tell you, well, if it feels good in your hands, that's the bat you need to swing. I think that's just bullshit. I think if it feels good in your hands, the barrel's got to flex for you. The handle's got to flex for you. They've got what kind of carbon, what kind of Kevlar did they put in that barrel? You know, how is it loaded? Has it got a plug about this big, or does it have a plug like that big? You know, so that's things you have to look at too. And I think I'm on a path of doing a video that explains that a lot better. And maybe, because I think we need to take this to the next level on balance points. So I'm doing a totally different video on balance points and try to explain to you guys how we come up with our best 10. Basically, it's getting dark, but I gotta hurry up. Hydration. There is a company open up here in San Antonio that I'm gonna be in, that I'm gonna talk about, and they are friends of ours. Actually, my wife's cousin. And hydration, okay? And I want to talk about that in a separate video. I'm going to kind of go in there. I'm going to talk to you guys about all these videos I'm going to do. I'm going to do it before tournament, do it after tournament, vitamins, minerals, get all this stuff into me, amino acids, and plus get hydrated for a tournament. I seen, and the reason that I get so mad, because I seen it, and so many misleading advertisement out there on a lot of seniors and a lot of people out there where they believe it or whatever. This has been cocked up on me. And like just on Facebook the other day, there was somebody sitting there with an IV to get hydrated, and then they had this package inside of a water bottle and they were pouring it in there, and it takes an hour to get this in you compared to the 30 seconds to drink this. Hour, 30 seconds. Which one are you going to choose? Well, you don't choose the 30 seconds, because here's what they're not telling you everything, right? This takes an hour, 30 minutes to get into you. Okay, it's well worth the wait, because you're getting 100% of that inside of your body, right? Because it's not going through your mouth or not going underneath your tongue. And this is the rule of thumb. Whenever you're getting hydrated with an IV, it's 100%. When you're putting anything under your tongue that's getting absorbed, that can get absorbed, that's 80%, okay? Because it's getting absorbed through the blood vessels underneath your tongue. If you're taking anything orally by a drink, 30% at the most, 30% of that is getting absorbed through your belly into your intestines, because acid kills a lot of it. If you have a bad gut, okay, if you got any kind of gut problems, 10% gets absorbed. You know, if you don't have a gallbladder, okay, if you have a pancreas that's not functioning right, us older guys, you'll know what I'm talking about. A lot of that does not get absorbed. So I would pick the hydration for an hour and then get out there and be 100%, then get into 20-30% from this drink that you're actually consuming. So it's kind of misleading, and I want to talk about this with the doc or the nurse, and I want to tell you guys how I think this is the way of the future. A lot of you senior guys are going to get hydrated. I'm going to start doing it this year, starting next week when I go to Baytown. 2 weeks when I go to Baytown, I'm going to be hydrated. For that, I'm going to let you guys know how I feel and how I'm getting through the tournament, and then there's another hydration that I'm going to get when I get back to kind of replenish everything that I exhausted over the weekend. Hydration is everything, guys. You can lose up to 40%, 50% of your strength if you're dehydrated. So I think this is going to help. And it's going to be a lot of videos on that, the videos that are coming out. All right, Protons. Guys, I'm not going to talk too much about Protons. The first batch, I read this. Protons kind of weren't made right when they had to repaint them. I think what I read was they stripped the old paint off of them and then had to repaint them again. And when you repaint something, you got to cure it again. So that thing went through two curing processes, which bakes the bat. So I think it did something to the bat, which made, I'm kind of acting dumb here. I don't want to get into everything. Kind of bakes the bat where it makes it fragile. So I've got 2 of the newer batches that came in a couple of weeks ago, and then I'm getting 2 more that's coming in this week and next couple of days. We are going to be hitting those in the morning. When I got the ones from last week, they put too much weight in the ends, and I understand this is a work in progress. You know, this is a new company. I'm trying to get balance points, and I'm trying to get them as close to the balance points that we swing, so I can give you guys an honest review on the bat. So we're waiting on those. I'm gonna start swinging the heavier ones tomorrow, and then let you guys know how they swing. There is another one, Jason Kendricks. We have one of those. I'm working on getting a problem with the Jason Kendricks. Got a 26. Now again, my balance points aren't good on that bat. I'm to go up and wait to get a better swinging weight because the end weight's just way too light on that Jason Kendricks max load. The new one, I'm working on getting a lot of guys asking me for that new 2021 Big Cat. I'm working on getting that one in too. My cutting room floor, a lot of you guys watch that cutting room floor. What I'm going to do with the cutting room floor real fast here is I'm going to make it an hour long, kind of like a movie video, and it's basically going to be like a, you know, like something you watch on the weekends. I mean, something you watch every week, almost like a reality TV show, but it is going to be reality, not that scripted shit, because a lot of our stuff is not scripted. None of our stuff is scripted. So I want to talk about little things, and a lot of you guys are mad because I'm not putting the description of the bat on whenever we're swinging it and the size. So what I'm going to do is, in the beginning of all these videos, I'm not going to have them cut up in increments. I'm going to have an hour-long video. You guys can watch it, look at it. Then it's going to be like tomorrow we're going to be hitting it. It's going to be an hour-long video. In the beginning, it's going to be an introduction on what we're going to be working on today. But, guys, everything you see is us talking. That's how come the, you know, the vulgarities there. We're good. You guys don't like it. You don't have to, you know, don't, because we're not scripted. And that's basically how we've been talking to each other for 40 fucking years. Basically what you got. We're not going to change for that shit, because we actually a lot of times don't notice the camera there. We really don't. This is shit that we talk to each other about. We talk about bats. I'm going to give you when I'm headed to go hit, I'm going to give you a little like rundown on what we're hitting that day and what we will be working on. And then a lot of times too, it's almost going to be like a once a week, twice a week kind of reality TV show. You know, if we're hitting like next week, it's going to be where we're getting ready for a tournament. We're hitting our own stuff, and we're going to be practicing up the middle, 5-6 hole, you know, hitting gapper gone, or what they talk about. You know, you've heard that out there too. And then hitting with power, and then last 10 swings, concentrating, put ourselves in game situations and doing that. Basically what's going to be. So it's cutting room floor. It's going to be something different now. You're going to get a better knowledge on what we're swinging, weights that we're swinging, who's going to be swinging them, TPS, and then I think I'm done. A lot of you guys have been asking me about this TPS too. That just came out, the Richest Superior bat that's out there. I ordered one a couple of days ago. I'll be getting it in. Guys, you guys are looking at this price tag. I'm going to give you guys a little tip here. You guys are looking at this price tag, and I got in contact with a guy the other day, and he gave me his discount code. And if you guys can hook up with him, I can't believe I went right through him. If you guys can hook up with him, and you don't have to hook up with him, you can use a discount code. So I'm going to pass his discount code up to you guys. And you can use it, and it saved my ass a ton of money. Go to it's called www.sluggerslowpitch.com. Push in discount code, order your bat, Richest Superior. Push in discount code DT34. David Taylor, thank you very much. DT34, that's his discount code, and you'll get 20% off that bat. And that's what I did. Shit, it came out to what I would pay for a regular bat. Maybe even a little cheaper. So go do that, guys. There's a bunch of stuff that I'm working on, videos to get out to you guys. I think I'm done with everything right now. I'm going to put all these pictures of all this stuff I want you guys to take. And I got a list of all the, I think it's out here, right here. All the tournaments I'm going to. Crapper. Oh, there it was, man. A list of all the tournaments I'm going to. Baytown is going to be one of them. I think the wife is going to me. We're finishing out the year with me, and that's the first time she's done that in years. So she'll be with me. Here they are. After that, Columbus, Indiana. Richmond, Virginia. And then one little tournament here in Bernie. And then Las Vegas, and finish it out with Phoenix. We are picking up some players from our 55 team from last year that are coming along and playing next year with us. And you know, in that tournament in November in Phoenix, you can use the players that are gonna turn 60 next year. So we're gonna have a good team in that Phoenix tournament. Guys, I think I'm done with getting everything. I'll start putting more video out. Bubba sounds like he's in good spirits this morning, and we'll be out hitting for you guys in the morning. And then I'm going to change a little bit of things up. I'm going to start putting out a lot more videos that talks about what we do. Basically, there was somebody out there. It's funny. I want to get 30 minutes into this. Somebody had put out there when I did a bad review, not a bad review, but I talked bad about bats. And I think a lot of you guys, that's the reason that you guys come and watch my videos, because I'm not biased toward anybody. I'll swing anything that's hot that you throw in front of me. And I'll talk bad about the things that are not hot. I don't pull any punches. Billy doesn't pull any punches. And Bubba doesn't. Both Blakes don't. Trey, you know, he's getting there where he doesn't pull any punches either when he talks about a bat that sucks. What you got, and I heard the other day, it was either a podcast or it was on a video where they said that nobody's going to be sending him any more bats. That's not what we're here for. We're not here to get free shit. You know, we're not here to get free merchandise. We're not here to get free hats. We're not here to get free batting gloves. We're not here to do that. I pay for a lot of my shit. Yes, I do get stuff sent to me, but you got to understand that I'm going to put an honest review out on that. So be prepared. If you send something to me, I'm going to give you my honest opinion on it. I've had to send, the funny part about all this, I've had to send a lot of shit back. They'll send me this care package with the bat, and then I put out a bad review and they ask for their stuff back. That's happened 3 times since I've been doing this, and I've sent their shit back. So we don't care if you send. We buy all of our shit, guys. Everything that comes out, I pay for it. I paid for the Rich's Superior bat. It's not sent to me. They don't get them to me and just start, here, go ahead and swing this and give me a good review. I'll give you the bat. I think a lot of, not working with percentages here, guys, probably about 50% of the review guys out there have their stuff sent to them, and they'll sit there and go, put in a good word for me. Because I know it happens to you guys that are doing the reviews, because it happened to me. You know, one guy came up to me in Vegas and goes, here's my bat, give me a good review on it. I said, man, I can't do that. I'm going to tell you exactly what I think about it. I'm not going to pull any punches. Well, he pulled the bat back. He took it back, and I know why, because later on I did a review on it. I went out and bought the bat and did a review on it, and they, oh my God, it was terrible. So, and I know, I don't want to expose a lot of people out there. I'm not calling about names, but a few of you guys out there in percentages do that. I don't think everybody doesn't do that. There's some honest people out there that do it, and I think this is shit that we've been doing for a long time, is giving our honest opinion. And we have stuff sent to us, but probably around, guys, I'm not shitting you, probably around 5% of all the shit we do, 5% gets sent to us. All the other stuff, all the money that I make off YouTube, that goes into a little slush fund, and that money I use to buy bats, balls, pitching screens, whatever breaks. Bat tape, I just went out and bought bat tape for all the guys. Batting gloves, Alan Tanner. I buy batting gloves from Alan. And you can see we hit him all the time. I think his batting gloves last longer than a lot of other batting gloves that are out there. That's the reason we swing them, because we hit a lot of balls. But sorry about the break, guys. I know a lot of you guys out there chomping at the bit to hear from what we have to say. Had a lot of rain down here too. Fields were soaked. We kept going out there. The grass grows. We hit on these parks and recreation places here in San Antonio, fields here in San Antonio. A lot of those guys won't go out there and cut the grass because they don't want to rut it up, so they kind of wait till it dries out for a while. I went by the fields a couple of days ago. Fields are good. They mowed the outfield, then mowed the infield. Not too worried about that because we hit on baseball fields. So we'll start putting more content out there and for you guys to see. But the break was actually good for, a lot of us guys were getting out there just hitting and hitting and hitting, and it actually helped us out a little bit, kind of regroup and get out there and start over again. Thanks, guys.